Good morning, my YouTube viewers. It is Palestine here. Welcome to my channel. This is the day after Good Friday, and I'm just on my way to a handout to get a free breakfast because I don't have a cooker. So I'm going to go get breakfast at the cooker. And I asked my boyfriend, I said, do you mind if I make a little video before I go? And he said he didn't mind if I made a video before I went. So I'm making my video because I prefer to make the videos in my bedroom. And the reason why is because I have a nightstand and I have a lamp, and I can take my phone and I can put it on top of the nightstand and rest it against the lamp, and it works out perfectly for me. I don't have any professional camera equipment because I know Tiffany Thinks and Jody Too Cute for Cancer, they have cameras that they can use, but I don't have any professional camera equipment. All I have is my phone. Maybe someday I'll get a camera, who knows. But the thing is that I have two channels. My one channel, sorry, that talks about my cancer journey, and then I have another channel about data science. But not so many people are looking at my data science channel now because AI's become into vogue, and people just want to take the easy way out, and so they want to learn about AI and learn about prompting and stuff like that. But if you're going to get involved in AI, you need to know the basics first. So I split my time between the two channels, and even this afternoon I need to do a bit of studying on my data science channel. So if you're interested in data science, it's Crystal X. And if you just search on Crystal X Data Science, you'll find it. And it's a faceless channel, and the reason why is because my laptop computer, the excuse me, the lens on the camera is skewed, so I can't get a picture of myself. I can do a screen recording, but I can't get a picture of myself. But I'm going to use that laptop, excuse me, for as long as I can use the laptop. And, you know, my friend said, well, maybe I can get a new laptop. I'm going to use it until it just breaks, you know, and then I'll get a new laptop. And I've got another laptop that I bought from somebody for £200, and it's not worth £200 because it's on Windows 10. But my boyfriend uses that to watch YouTube videos. But because it's on Windows 10, I can't use it for anything significant. And then I've got a Chromebook, but I'm not going to buy another Chromebook. I'm going to buy my computers, laptops that run on Microsoft Office because I pay for Microsoft Office. So that's all the laptops I have. I have 3 laptops. All 3 are really old. And then I've got 3 tablets. I've got one 7-inch tablet from 2019. It's probably older, and I watch YouTube videos on that. It's not good for much anymore, but I do watch YouTube videos on that, and it's small enough because it's 7 inches. It's small enough that I can put it in my hand, so I can lay in my bed and I can hold it in my hand and watch YouTube videos. And then I have a 10-inch YouTube video 10-inch tablet that I bought to replace the 7-inch one, but I can't hold it in my hand. So I just use it mainly in the kitchen, and I watch YouTube videos in the kitchen. And I got that last year. And I had a tablet that had been given to me, and the socket was charred, so the socket burned through, and because the socket burned through, it wouldn't charge anymore, and so I couldn't use it anymore. And it was an old tablet. It was from 2018, so it was an 8-year-old tablet. So my boyfriend just sold it for parts, and didn't get hardly anything off of it. I think he sold it for $12.99, and he had to pay for shipping, I think. So he just sold it for parts, and that's probably like when my electronic equipment gets too old to use, I'll just give it to my boyfriend and he can sell it for parts, and he won't get very much for it. And then last night I took my 7-inch tablet to Oasis, where we go, which is a free Christian outreach. And I showed it to my dyslexic friend because he doesn't have a tablet. And I told him, I said, when you get your financial problems sorted out, I said, maybe we can go to Argos and get you a tablet. And so he was looking at my old 7-inch tablet, and he said that he really liked it, that he wanted a tablet that he could put in his hand, and he really liked it. So when he gets his financial problems sorted out, then I can take him to Argos and we can get him a 7-inch tablet. It'll have to be a Samsung because he has a Samsung phone, so he can actually use a Samsung. So I'll have to set the tablet up for him. And then I don't know if he's going to get his financial problems sorted out anytime soon, because I'm not going to buy him a tablet and I'm not going to give him any money. And it raises another issue, because there's this woman at the handout who's been asking to borrow money, and it wasn't a lot of money. She's asked me 2 times. She asked to borrow £5, and I wasn't happy about it, but I did it. And then the last time she asked to borrow £10. So it goes to the old adage, you give people an inch, they'll take a mile. And I said I could give her £5. And then she actually went to the handout saying that it was the anniversary of her father's death, and she was going to pass a card around and ask people to put something in it. Well, I didn't want to put anything in it. Well, my dyslexic friend told me that he's seen her at this place called Admiral on the town I live in many times. And Admiral is a gambling establishment. And I never was happy to lend her money. I never was happy to lend her money. I haven't got any money. She's probably getting more benefits than me. I haven't got any money. But I lent her the money. But now that I found out that she's actually gambling and she smokes, you can spend easily, even if it's a roll your own cigarettes, you can spend easily £100 a month, even if it's just roll your owns. And she smokes and she gambles, and I just decided that I'm not the good friend that she says I am. I don't know how she even got my number. I obviously must have given it to her at some point. And so next time she asks me for money, I'm going to have to say, no, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to say, I'm really sorry, but you've been seen at Admiral on numerous occasions. And I'm sorry. I said, I'm walking around in a coat that has tears in it, is ripped, and I can't afford to replace it. So I can't give you money if you're just going to buy cigarettes and gamble. I'm really sorry. I know I'm not giving you the answer that you want. I know it's going to destroy the friendship, but I don't really consider her a friend. Somehow or other, she got my number, and I don't consider her a friend. And she's really paranoid. Of course she is paranoid. She doesn't want people knowing that she's gambling. And she gets people's number. And that's another thing that these people in the handouts do, is they actually try to get your number. And they get your number so they can ask you for money. So if you go to a handout, try not to give anybody your number. I don't know how she even got my number, but she did. I must have given it to her at some point, but I don't want to lend her any money. She's going to be upset. But I'm walking around in a coat, and it's got tears. I can show it to you. Hold on a second. This is the coat. Here's one tear. And there's another tear. And I can't replace my coat. I can't justify getting a new coat as long as the arms are okay and the zipper is okay. I have to wear that coat. I can't justify getting a new coat. And even my friend was complaining, my dyslexic friend was complaining about my coat. Well, yeah, he doesn't buy anything. Everything he has, I pretty much get for him at handouts, you know. And even he's got my boyfriend buying him cream soda. He doesn't buy anything. So why is he complaining that my coat is torn? But I can't get a new coat because I can't justify spending money on a new coat while my financial situation is as it is. So, I know this woman's going to be really upset, but she shouldn't be asking people money for gambling anyway. She smokes roll your owns. And even if it's a roll your owns, easily £100 a month. And if you're going to smoke a pack of cigarettes, I've been told it's £15 a pack. So that's going to eat up your benefits. And then I can't give her money. I can't smoke. I don't have any money for cigarettes. I can't gamble. I don't have any money for gambling. So she's going to be really upset, and I'm just going to say, I'm sorry. I can't give you money for gambling and smoking when I'm walking around in a coat that's ripped, and I can't replace it. And I know she's going to be really upset. It's going to ruin the friendship, but I don't care that much anyway. I don't consider her a friend. She's very paranoid. She always says things aren't very good. Things aren't very good. No, of course they're not. And she's going in Admiral. No, of course they're not good. And then she said that it was the anniversary of her father's death. She was going to bring a card into the handout and ask people to put a little bit in it. Can you believe that? I mean, my dad died. When my dad died, I was ashamed to tell anybody that my dad died because I didn't have any money to go to the States, to go to his funeral. I didn't want anybody to know. I was embarrassed that I couldn't go to his funeral. And speaking of which, I've already spoken to my mom, and I told her I couldn't go to her funeral. And the reason why is nobody in my family, one, I don't have any money to get to the States, one. Two, I can't get any insurance because of my health. And three, nobody in my family is willing to put me up because that's the kind of family I come from. You know, that's why I'm sitting here in the UK, destitute. And finally, what I wanted to say is I've had a cold on my 4 weeks now. It's past the 3-week point, and now we're going into the 4 weeks. So I looked it up on the internet, and basically the internet said that you can catch one virus on top of another because a cold will only last 7 to 10 days. And so you can catch like one virus and then catch another. So I don't know why I've been sick. This is week 4 now that I'm in sick. But even my boyfriend's sick now too, has got a cold and sneezing and everything. So if he's got a cold and sneezing, then I'm going to get a cold and sneezing. So this is my week number 4 of having a cold. And that's basically what I wanted to make the video about, to let you know that I'm still sick. And also, I haven't heard anything back from the hospital regarding my mammogram. And so I'm just going to say no news is good news. I did have a CT scan on my chest to see if I had lung cancer, and they didn't find anything. And I'm thinking, well, the CT scan was able to pick up the fact that I have a calcified coronary artery. So if it could pick up the fact that I have a calcified coronary artery, and it can pick up lung cancer, then it could probably pick up breast cancer too. So I'm just going to work on the premise that no news is good news. They told me that I would hear from them in 3 or 4 weeks, and that if I didn't hear from them, contact the breast clinic. And then in addition to that, right here, the skin is thick right here, and that bothers me. But whenever the last time I went to the breast clinic, and I had a sonogram, I think it was, or an ultrasound. And he said that the radiotherapy had caused my skin to thicken. And so even though right here it feels lumpy and everything, I think it's because of the radiotherapy causing my skin to actually thicken in that area. And they told me that my left breast will never be the same as my right breast again because I've had radiotherapy. So I'm just waiting. I haven't heard anything back because last year when I had my mammogram, they wrote me in a week, so it's been more than a week. So I'm just going to work on the assumption that the cancer hasn't come back, or it hasn't come back in a form that they can see on a mammogram. But the thing is that, you still have rogue cancer cells. That's why I had radiotherapy, was to try to kill all those rogue cancer cells, so one of them could get loose and, and start multiplying again, and get loose, go into your bloodstream or your lymphatic system and start multiplying again. But since I'm on aromatase inhibitors, which, because the cancer I had is estrogen receptive, or female hormone receptive, so I don't produce any estrogen anymore, which obviously you can tell I don't have a pretty little girlish figure anymore. And yesterday somebody said something about that. My dyslexic friend said something about that, and that hurt my feelings because I can't help it. I'm a 65-year-old woman, and I can't help it, the fact that I don't have a girlish figure anymore. So I did find that a bit hurtful. So I've been telling you about my day for about close to 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and close this video. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, please like and subscribe. And it means a lot to me that you're watching my video. Thank you again, and I will be communicating with you very soon.